Hi everyone, Richard here from Calvin Wazoo, bringing you another video. I'm getting back on track with my Frank Zappa albums. So this is another Frank Zappa, one album at a time. And today it's going to be Mothermania. This is a compilation that was issued in 1969 in March. We got the band members that were pretty much part of the Mothers of Invention, from Freak Out through Absolutely Free to We're Only in It for the Money. We're Only in It for the Money. And also, there's Lumpy Gravy was released in there, but there's really nothing that comes from Lumpy Gravy that's going to be on here. On the back, this is from a German magazine about an infamous concert that happened at the, let's see. The name of the venue was, I had it before, now I can't find it. Sportpalast, the Sportpalast in, I think it was Berlin. So this was from the magazine Der Abend. So we've got that information on the back. We got then, for the photos of the band members, we have their lips. So, you know, some more weirdness from Frank. And you'll notice that this is a release by Zappa Records, a re-release. And you'll see that it has the bizarre insignia, bizarre logo that went with the Reprise issues. But this was released on Verve by MGM. So it was not released on the bizarre Reprise label. Another curious thing about this is that you'll see it has, this is the number 7 release in the Zappa catalog, and listing it after Uncle Meat, which was number 6. But in reality, this was released prior to Uncle Meat. It was put together about the time they were recording Uncle Meat, but Uncle Meat was released in April of '69, and this was released in March of 1969. So then with the Zappa Records label, you can see the label for side 1. There's Frank Zappa's teeth. Oh, very nice looking. And then, you know, just the Zappa Records label on the other flip side. The weird thing about this is that Zappa didn't owe MGM any new releases according to his contract. But MGM, Verve, came to him and said, we want you to put together a compilation, kind of like a greatest hits kind of thing. And he was like, you know, why? I don't have to. But they told him, well, if you don't, we're going to put one together and release it anyway. So, yeah, as you see, as problems with the record companies were continuing to grow. So he did put one together. And he actually enjoyed this compilation very much. In fact, here in this book, this is, if you're a real Zappa-phile, you'll definitely want to get the big note. But he mentions in here, you know, that he really liked this compilation. He said of it, have you listened to Mothermania? It's a damn good album. First of all, the mixes are superior to the ones that appeared on the other MGM albums. The mastering is superior, and some of the things appear only in that version. So, yeah, there was some different things going on with this release, as opposed, you know, in terms of the songs that were taken from the original release. For a long time, I had no desire to get this record. I mean, to me, it just had a compilation of songs from records I already had, so I didn't see any need to get it. And it was only recently that I did finally pick up a copy. So obviously I had the new Zappa Records release. I do not have an original MGM release. The songs are different. There are different mixes. So they are not like they were originally released. So for example, on the Freak Out songs, on the original release, pretty much all the instrumentation, is the placement is either a hard left, a hard right, or a hard center. And with the Mothermania release, things were moved to a little more intermediate position, right or left on this mix, plus the bass was moved to the center. And this same mix was used when the CD compilation was later released. Now, although Zappa did put this together, and he, as I stated, he was very fond of this and thought it was a great release, that didn't prevent MGM from releasing several other compilations that were done without his permission and without Frank's involvement in them at all. So the other compilations that you see out there they're not bootlegs, but they're not authorized by Zappa. It was not something that he wanted to release. So we go through the individual songs. They're not necessarily in chronological order. For example, the first song on side 1 is Brown Shoes Don't Make It. That's from the second album, Absolutely Free. And with most of the songs, or with all the songs, I should say, that came from Absolutely Free, the difference is the stereo image is reversed. So when you're listening to Absolutely Free on that release, the original releases, you're going to hear the stereo image is going to be in one way, but on here, it's going to be flipped. Mother People, which is from We're Only in It for the Money, it's in mono as opposed to on stereo, and it has some added lyrics that do not appear in the original release. But those parts where there's like the scratches sound, with like a needle bouncing on a record, that's edited out. And also there's no quote from Lumpy Gravy in that. Then we have Duke of Prunes. So you see, we started with Absolutely Free. We went to the next album in order of release, which was We're Only in It for the Money. Then we go backward to Absolutely Free again for Duke of Prunes. And in that case, again, it's from Absolutely Free, so the stereo image is reversed. Excuse me, same with Call Any Vegetable. With the addition, however, that the guitar and saxophone solo that's kind of in the middle where they're both playing together, that's 6.5 minutes. It's completely cut from this particular release. Then we've got the Idiot Bastard Son closing out side 1, and it also closed out side 1 of We're Only in It for the Money. But again, it's a different edit in mix. It has a piano and timpani intro that does not exist on the original release. Plus, there is that no spoken word interlude, that has the guy whispering. That's been edited out. It's in mono. Plus, also, it has been sped up a half step. Well, side 2 then opens with It Can't Happen Here. Now we're going backward to Freak Out, the first release. So It Can't Happen Here, but there's no piano solo. And the 2 spoken spots that occur in that on the original release are gone. And they also, there are 2 spoken spots on this release that do not exist on the Freak Out release. And then it ends with 2 echoes of It Can't Happen Here. Then, continuing with other songs from Freak Out, you're probably wondering why I'm here and who are the Brain Police. And these are both the different mixes that I talked about at the beginning of how the original release had things hard right, left, or center, and now things are kind of blended a little bit more. Then we go to Plastic People, which is from Absolutely Free. Stereo is reversed, like with the others. And then we come up to Hungry Freaks Daddy, which is from We're Only In It For The Money. I always want to say just another band from LA. Sometimes I trip on those titles. So Hungry Freaks Daddy is the different mix. And then the closer is America Drinks and Goes Home, which is the same closer for Absolutely Free. And of course, the stereo is reversed. So again, we could see the personnel that were listed for this. We got Frank, Jimmy Carl Black, Euclid James Sherwood, Ian Underwood, Don Preston, Monk Gardner, Roy Estrada, and Arthur Tripp, who was the drummer. And he went on to work, actually, Arthur Tripp went on to work with folks like Bob Dylan, Todd Rundgren, the band, so the etiology of the music with the connection to Frank Zappa is pretty interesting at times, with the way different musicians who worked with Frank went on and worked with many other famous or well-known musicians, plus many of them created their own groups. So yeah, Mothermania, in terms of a compilation, it's not bad. It does sound different enough that you are not getting exactly, just songs taken from the original release. And some of them have things, sections and bits on this release that are not on the original releases. So all in all, a solid one for the Zappa collection. So do you have this one? Have you skipped it as long as I have? Leave a comment. Please share and like the video. And, like I say, these are weird times we're in, Sometimes I wish Frank was around so he could provide some commentary on the lunacy that seems to be happening in our world. But in spite of that, always remember, enjoy your music.